In 1885, Abilene Marshal Tom Hill became embroiled in a shady business deal with a friend, Jim Holland. An acquaintance of theirs in New York had contacted Holland and promised to send them $10,000 in top-quality counterfeit currency in exchange for $500 in cash. Hill and Holland traveled to New York with the cash. The deal turned sour in the Manhattan apartment where the exchange was to take place. Hill stood watch downstairs, while Holland went up to the apartment. The alleged counterfeiter, Tom Davis, sat behind a desk when Holland entered the room. The two exchanged bags and Holland turned to leave when Davis's brother jumped up from a hiding place under the desk. Tom Davis reached to grab Holland, who drew a pistol and shot him 3 times through the heart. Holland grabbed the bag of counterfeit bills, fled the building, and, joined by Hill, ran down the Manhattan street. Davis's brother, however, was close behind, screaming, "Murder! Murder!" Police arrested Hill and Holland and charged them with murder. The only good news was that they were not charged with possessing counterfeit bills, because the only contents in Holland's bag was a brick and some sawdust. The Davises' plan all along had been to cause a scuffle and switch the bags. They had not counted on the Texan to be armed. When word arrived back in Abilene of Hill's predicament, local Judge K.K. Leggett, one of the finest pioneer lawyers in the state, was dispatched to secure Hill's release. He was able to get the charges against Hill dropped, but Hill still had to testify in Holland's murder trial. The New York press worked hard to paint the Texans as villains, and the prosecutor spared no efforts to get a conviction. In his arguments to the jury, the New York prosecutor, Colonel Fellows, stated,
"There's no physical way that Mr. Holland could have pulled out his pistol and fired it in the middle of a scuffle with Mr. Davis. Mr. Holland had to have pulled the pistol beforehand, making this a premeditated murder."
Davis's brother testified to this version of events. Hill had not even been in the room when the shooting occurred, so he could not officially support his friend's version of events. Holland's arguments of self-defense appeared to be without hope before this New York jury. Holland's lawyer, General Roger A. Pryor of Holland's hometown of Georgetown, Texas, made no objections throughout the prosecutor's case. When he finally stood before the judge and jury, he simply stated,
"Now you've proven that it definitely cannot be done. Let's let the defendant show the court how he in fact did it."
With the judge's permission, he loaded Holland's pistol with blanks and stuck it in the defendant's belt. The attorney Pryor gave a signal and Holland was firing so fast that the judge gasped and yelled,
"Put that dang thing up!"
Holland was acquitted, and he was able to return to Texas with his friend Tom Hill. As for Hill, he was never convicted of anything, but the taint of scandal made keeping his job as Abilene Marshal difficult. He resigned in March 1886.